Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Rhea Ripley reached out to her former partner, Damian Priest, after SmackDown tonight. She sent him a 3-word message after the show was done. Damian Priest decided to take a shot at Cody Rhodes on July 4th, as he was watching the fireworks. He compared the Independence Day fireworks in New York to Rhodes' pyro, taking a shot at the amount of pyro the star received every time he appeared in WWE and on a show. The American Nightmare has extensive pyro, more than others on the roster. Damian Priest's comparison of the two was hilarious and elicited a reaction from Ripley. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest were formerly partners, working together as the Terror Twins. Even before that, they were part of the Judgment Day. Now, the star reacted to the comment on X, saying that she was dead laughing at it, and then went on to make fun of Cody Rhodes' entrance as well by mimicking the crowd chant. Cody Rhodes has yet to reply, but the post has been found hilarious by many in the WWE universe, who have now reacted to it. As for what's next for Rhea Ripley, she has a chance to become the Women's World Champion if she manages to beat Io Sky at Evolution 2025. Rhea Ripley leaned against the cold concrete wall of the backstage corridor, her breath steady but her mind a storm. The roar of the crowd inside the arena still pulsed through the floor like a heartbeat she could not quiet. SmackDown had just gone off the air, but the real drama was far from over. Earlier that night, the tension had been unbearable when Damian Priest, the current World Heavyweight Champion and her former Judgment Day brother-in-arms, stood in the center of the ring. He had just survived another brutal defense, this time against Drew McIntyre. But it wasn't the match that had people talking, it was the simmering fallout that had been building for weeks since Rhea's shocking ousting from Judgment Day. The faction they'd built together, a kingdom forged in darkness and intimidation, had turned on her the moment she showed weakness. An injury had sidelined her. Rumors swirled that Priest and Finn Balor saw an opportunity to reshape the group's future without her commanding presence overshadowing them. And tonight, for the first time, they crossed paths again, this time not as allies, but as something worse than enemies, strangers with unfinished business. Rhea had watched from the shadows as Priest raised his championship high, the Judgment Day at his side. Her fists clenched tighter with every smug grin Balor shot her way from the ring. But it was Priest's eyes that cut the deepest, eyes that refused to meet hers, eyes that looked through her like she was just another obstacle in his kingdom. Now, in the flickering backstage lights, she thumbed at her phone. The WWE Universe didn't know yet what was coming. They had seen her storm out onto the ramp, the brief face-off with Priest, the electricity that crackled between them, and then the security that swarmed like hornets to keep them apart. Rhea smirked. She could feel it, this wasn't over. This would never be over until she said so. She opened her messages. Priest's name was still there, buried under months of silence and betrayal. Once upon a time, they'd traded strategy, memes, secrets, late-night confessions about the pressure of carrying gold and judgment on their shoulders. Now the chat was a graveyard of broken trust. But tonight wasn't about the past. Tonight was about reminding Priest who she was, who they had built her to be, and what she was about to tear down. Her thumbs hovered. She typed and deleted a dozen lines. The truth was simple. So she made it simple. I'm not done. 3 words. Cold. Sharp. Final. She hit send. Rhea tucked the phone into her jacket pocket and pushed off the wall. She could already hear the chatter of the backstage crew as word spread. Did you see Rhea? Did you see Priest's face? What's going to happen next? She liked the noise. It meant they were still watching. It meant they were still afraid. Hey, Rhea. A voice pulled her back. It was Kathy Kelly, mic in hand, eyes wide with the thrill of the chase. Any comment about what happened out there tonight? Rhea brushed a strand of sweat-soaked hair from her face. You got a mic? She asked. Kathy nodded. Rhea leaned in so close that the camera light caught the steel glint in her eyes. Tell the whole world, she said, voice low but brimming with that Aussie bite fans loved and feared. Damian Priest knows what's coming. I'm not done. And soon. Neither is he. She pushed past Kathy before another question could form. She didn't need to explain herself. The Judgment Day had made their choice, Priest had made his choice. He'd chosen power over loyalty. Gold over family. And now she'd show him what happens when you betray the woman who made you believe you could be untouchable in the first place. Priest saw the message as soon as he got back to his private locker room. The championship belt was still draped over his shoulder, sweat soaking through his shirt, the weight of the main event pressing into the muscle and bone beneath. He sat on the bench, scrolling through a tidal wave of congratulatory texts, and then he saw her name. Rhea Ripley. His finger hesitated. He almost didn't open it. But he did. "I'm not done." 3 words. So simple. So final. So much like her. Priest let out a bitter laugh. He knew Rhea better than anyone, better than Dom, better than Finn, better than any suit and gorilla trying to spin this as just another story. He knew what those 3 words really meant. She was coming for him. She wasn't just talking about Judgment Day. She was talking about his title. His power. His legacy. And deep down, a small part of him, the part that used to stand at her side when they terrorized Raw and SmackDown as the most feared duo in WWE, almost respected it. Almost. A knock on the door yanked him back. Finn Balor poked his head in, grinning like a fox sniffing out fresh prey. "You good, champ? Big night. Big win." Priest's eyes flicked to Finn, then back to his phone. He turned the screen off, burying Rhea's words in darkness. "Yeah," he said, voice low. "I'm good." But he wasn't. He'd felt it in the ring tonight, the shift in the air when she stepped onto that ramp. The way the crowd erupted. The way the Judgment Day's collective confidence shrank in her shadow. She might have been out for weeks, but Rhea Ripley was never gone. She was a storm waiting for the right moment to break. Outside, Rhea stepped into the night. The Florida heat wrapped around her, sticky and relentless, but she welcomed it. She tossed her bag into the trunk of her car and paused, feeling the energy throbbing through her veins. Priest might hold the gold now, but she knew him, knew his every fear, every crack beneath that icy exterior. And if she could break him once to build the Judgment Day, she could break him again to tear it all down. She slipped into the driver's seat and let the engine rumble to life. The next few weeks would be hell for Priest, mind games, confrontations, whispers in the dark that maybe Judgment Day needed its real leader back. And when she finally stepped into that ring with him, face to face with the man who forgot who made him king, she'd remind him, one brutal move at a time. She smiled to herself, hearing her own words echo in her mind. "I'm not done." And neither was the nightmare she was about to unleash.